Correct. Hello, everybody. My name is Uncle Bruce, and I'm here today with Mr. Juvenal. How are you doing, Mr. Juvenal Santos?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks for asking, Bruce. Hello, everybody.
So today we're going to talk about um, some things in business, an idea, and I'll
hmm
share my screen here with you guys so you can see the article that we're going to talk about. And this is the article here. And it is, let's see, I need to, yes, there it is. So it's in the New Yorker magazine, and it said,
hmm
should you just give up? Should you just give up? Okay, should you just stop? So that's the
Yeah,
question. When do you say, I'm done? When do you say, no more? That's the question here. So
exactly.
talk about this, and so let's go. When do you give up? When do you give up, Juvenile?
Yeah, man, it's a interesting question, and the subject of this article is very interesting as well because when we talk about to give up, normally or usually, it's it's a I think people uh, think wrong about us, like you are a loser.
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
I think this is the point. Despite of the article is talking about to uh, stop to do some things or some tasks and start a new one or start to live your life, but not the idea is not to give everything up but to make choices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and from my side, I think almost my entire life I was guided on this path to not give up. It's a shame if you
Mm-hmm.
give up something or you abandon the idea or you know your career or family could be or your projects.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something very hard or difficult to accept when it's the time that I don't know if it's give up, but to change things.
Okay. So giving up to me is saying I'm stopping. Okay. I'm stopping.
hmm
And so I have thought about stopping English Brazil because it's not easy. It's not easy to do what I do with English Brazil, with having
hmm
meetings and having people being teachers and things. It's a school, but it's more a community. And so I thought about giving up because it's not easy. And then I have people saying, "Oh, it's you're not making any money." Okay, well that's one issue. That's a point. But I'm not
hmm
in it for the money. I don't I need the money. I really don't need the money, and I'm not trying to be a millionaire. But schools in Brazil, an English school in Brazil, you can be a millionaire. If you are a good business
Yeah, for
person,
sure.
you can be a millionaire because all the Brazilians want to learn English because of travel, because of job opportunities. So you could be,
hmm
but that's not my objective. But I have thought about giving up. But now, at this moment, and I've always been in a transition period, I'm not going to give up, but I'm going to make a change. Okay. So I'm not going to continue.
Okay.
I'm not going to continue the same road that I've been going on. I'm changing things. I have other people now that are going to be doing what I do, and they'll receive some money. They're not going to get rich either, but it could be that English Brazil becomes a very lucrative operation. But if it does, I'll get some of my money back because I invested a lot of money. Not a lot, but a lot. And I invested all my time.
hmm
If I could get like a little commission in the future, that'd be great. But that's not my objective. But I'm not giving up. But I did see yesterday in the news about a company. I'm trying to remember the name, but it's a big company, and they are foreclosing. They're doing bankruptcy. They call it in English. They're stopping operations. They're giving all the people that they
Mm-hmm.
owe money to their money, and they're going to stop operating as a company. And this is a company that's been in operation for a long time, more than 50 years.
Okay.
And they're saying, we're done. We're not going to continue. It's like, wow, man. And I think about English Brazil. I've been in business now for about 5 years. Okay. In the
Mm-hmm.
capacity, actually only 3 years in the capacity that it's in now. But actually, about 5 years ago, we started with English Brazil. Before then, it was a different name, English Munchers. Okay. And so I
Yeah.
that company, and I passed that to some partners because of a problem, a difficulty in the relationship. That's why I said no more partnership. It's too complicated. Too complicated. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
giving up is easy, but it's not easy because when you have a passion to do something, you don't want to give up your passion. This is something you like to do. It's not a job. It's something you like. So when I like to teach English and do things like that, I don't want to give that up. In fact, I won't. I will probably never give up teaching English. Never. Because it's something I can do on a computer here in my home. I don't need to travel. If I can speak and I can understand and talk, I'll continue teaching. But I don't want to go out of the house to teach. I used to do that. I used to go out of the house all the time before the pandemic. I used to go traveling
Mm-hmm.
from this company to this company to this person's house. And man, I was driving all day long and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very exhausting. I can imagine.
Yes,
Yeah.
giving up is not something I'm planning to do. I will give up in a different way. I will develop so that the continuing operations will happen. Okay. I don't want to give up the dream of Brazilians speaking English and speaking English better. That's my dream. And I'm using other people to achieve that. And I want the schools to teach English with English. That's how you teach a language. You don't teach a language
Mm-hmm.
with your native language, Portuguese. You teach English using Portuguese. The people will never learn how to speak. Never.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't learn how to speak because the teacher doesn't use English to teach the language of English. They use Portuguese. So you understand enough to take a test, to pass a test, and okay, I go to the next part of my life, and that's it. But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people want to learn English, so they pay a school a lot of money to try to learn. And then the school fails them because the school doesn't teach them how to speak. They teach the book. Learn this book, okay? And after this book,
Yeah.
another book, and another book. It's so sad, man. I'm frustrated
Yeah.
talking about it every time. But that's why English Brazil exists to help people to learn how to speak English or speak it better. And we're not here to get rich. The price is low. So, there's no reason for me to stop. But eventually I'll stop because I'll be dead.
Yeah. 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 It's a very
Everybody.
tough decision.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
very tough decision to make. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have other objectives with my life. I want to study water. I was just telling people earlier. I want to study water.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, we have the Tietê and the Pinheiros River.
Yeah.
I want to study water to help purify these places that we have in the city. Because I look at Paris, I look at London, they have rivers that flow through the cities, and they have parks, they have activities in the water, because the water is not pure, but it's pure enough to have activities. In the Chiete, would you go to the
Sure.
Chiete? Would you go to the Chiete in a kayak today? Would you do that?
Yeah.
You would?
No.
No.
No. I
Because the
had not
water,
the opportunity.
yeah, but the water that splashes into your mouth when you're doing the
Yeah.
oaring, okay, you're using an oar in a kayak and the water splashes in your face, gets in your mouth, dude, you're gonna get sick probably.
The
So
maximum I did was ride bike alongside of
uh,
the river, you
okay,
know. That's the
Except,
maximum.
and sometimes it's like,
But
oh man, what's that smell?
now the smell is terrible, man.
Yeah. So
The
that's what I
smell
want to
is.
focus on next. My next objective with my life when I'm 70 years old will be to study water, to help the Chiete and Pinedos in Sao Paulo, but to talk about things in general all over the Brazil,
Mhm.
all over Brazil. And also desalinization of water. How do we extract the water out of the ocean that has salt, take the salt out,
Mhm.
and use the water for irrigation in the northeast of Brazil, where it's a lot of arid, like a desert. Okay, we need water to
Yeah.
irrigate to make it so they can grow plants, grow food. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my next goal. Right now, it's English.
Yeah.
Next one is water.
It's a noble objective.
What about you?
In terms of objective or in terms of
Giving up.
I don't know. For me, there are some things that I never had problems to give up. Like, you know, not how can I say, not enjoyable friendship. I give up. I gave up
Ah, so it's
because
an unpleasant relationship.
unpleasant. Exactly,
It's
exactly.
not
So
enjoyable.
yeah, I had no problems to
Give it up.
to yeah to give it up, to left
Give up
them
smoking
behind me.
cigarettes. Give up smoking cigarettes.
No, no, no,
What about wine?
no. Yeah, yeah, was
That's a
good, but
different one.
yeah, I've never, I never been a smoker, you know, in the very meaning the word. Sometimes I tried some cigars, which is different than cigarette.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
what about drinking
cigars.
wine? Can you give up drinking wine?
I think it is.
It's possible.
I think it's possible. It's
I know
you
you
know,
enjoy
it's
it. I know you enjoy drinking wine, good wine.
yeah, I enjoy it, but I think it's not. It's possible because it's not something that I do every day. It's in special occasions or when I have good food. In despite of I have good food every day. I cook good food every day, but it's not difficult for me. It's something that I could do
Right.
if I would want.
And what about in business? When you talk about business and you talk about situations where you have a company and you have decisions
Hmm.
to make, sometimes giving up is hard. Okay,
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah, I did it when I decided uh, to left the partnership I had,
You
the
had to
past in
leave.
a small consultancy office, and I broke the partnership in a good ways. No hard feelings, no problems. We are friends until
Mhm.
now.
Okay.
Uh, another decision to that I did for was to left to leave the human resources company, the human resources area, and start working with sales and customer service. Or the point was to change the professional field. This was another thing, and the last one was to leave the company I used to work. Because of my objectives and my values were not meeting the the way to do business the company of the
Mhm.
company. So I decided to leave.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So, these are not easy things sometimes, to make a decision to stop something. I think
Hmm.
it's probably easier, but also challenging to make a decision to change and make a big change in what's happening in the operations of a company or anything that we're doing. So to make a big change is also a challenge.
Hmm.
But good, we can get through it. We can go through it because
For sure, for sure.
when this door closes, another door opens.
Exactly. I
We have
think
to always be
you
thinking
know,
positive about life.
yeah, something that I learned from sports was okay, you must change things, but it's important to keep the consistency. Okay, to be a champion, it's necessary to keep your consistency,
Mm,
and that's the point or the reason that I couldn't I never be a good player, a tennis player,
uh, because
because
of
I have
because you're
no
not consistent
consistency.
with
Yeah,
practice, huh? With practice.
with practice and even during the game,
Uh,
because I usually I want to finish the point so quickly, and
mm,
sometimes it's necessary to suffer something or to suffer a little,
uh-huh.
to run in this way and another way to one side and another one to you know and to face a good player in the other part. So it's necessary to suffer a little, but if you don't have patience enough, it's quite difficult to over over overcome overcome
Yeah.
this challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But this is life, okay?
Yeah,
Nothing continues forever, so we need to really have a vision to understand when it's time to stop and when it's okay to continue and when it's time to make a change. So these are important
sure.
parts of our lives that we need to really identify and make the right decision at the right time to maximize our life, okay? To have the best
Yeah,
outcome. So, well, very
yeah,
good.
I agree.
I appreciate your conversation today, and it
It
was
was
a
a
good
pleasure.
topic. Good topic. So we'll talk to you guys later. Take care, man. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye, everybody.